Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time today to join us on today's webinar. We know that many of you are joining us from different parts of the world, and we'd like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. So, first and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Kyla, and I'm the content specialist for InUnique Global. And before we begin, a quick note to everyone. Please know that this session is being recorded and the link to the recording will be shared to you shortly after the session. Also, we do encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, even at the start. So using the Q&A box just down below your screen, just click the three dots and then you'll be able to see the Q&A box. So our speaker today will address as many as possible if time permits us, so we will. So I'm very excited to introduce our guest speaker for today. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Sharonda Ford, Assistant Vice President of Student Life at FMU. In her role, she helps create meaningful student experiences, supports campus engagement, and works to ensure students thrive both inside and outside the classroom. It is so lovely to have you here with us today, Ms. Sharonda Ford. Welcome, and how are you doing?
Thank you so much. It's a great day to be a Lion. I'm here at Florida University, the only HBC in South Florida, and I'm so happy to be on this webinar to address any concerns of future Lions in Florida Memorial University. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all. Thank you as well. So I'm also pleased to welcome our team from InUni, Sukanya and Chinks, who will be supporting us in our back-end operations and helping us guide through this webinar smoothly. Okay, so choosing a university is more about it's not more about the academics, but it's also finding a place where you can grow personally. Next slide, please. You can also build friendships, discover opportunities and prepare for your future. So today we will explore how FMU creates an exciting, supportive, and student-centered environment through what makes student life at FMU unique, its vibrant campus, even the many clubs and organizations and campus life, even the opportunities and the strong student support services in our international experience, as well as career readiness and successful student outcomes. And what better way to imagine life at FMU than to hear it directly from someone actively involved in the student life? Please join me in welcoming Miss Ford. Over to you.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for taking time to learn about Florida University. We are the pride of the campus where we roar, roar, and roar some more. Florida University is the only HBC in South Florida founded in 1879. We are deep in tradition and religion as well as heritage. The heritage of Florida University transformed beyond the classrooms. As we entered to learn and depart to serve, Florida University students will be receiving the best value education here on campus. So what we do is transform students beyond the classrooms. Talking about some of our leadership skills, some of our student leaders range from varieties of serving for Student Government Association leadership. Now, at the university, we ask, what does global citizenship look like on campus? We are a part of the Pride where we have over 30 countries that are here at the university. Now, some of those organizations and students derive from maybe some of the places where you guys reside. So we just like to look at Florida University as your home away from home, where we are here to expand and to respond on your educational journey. Academic wise, we have a variety of various programs that you can take part in. But the first thing we do here in Lion Country is to make sure you belong here in the Pride. So we welcome all of our students from all different backgrounds, and we're just here to help you grow as a leader. Next slide. Now, when we're looking at Florida University, what makes us unique? When you think about it, what do Lions do? We roar. So some of the student experience here at Florida University, we ensure that we have a variable experience for our students. We are approachable. We make sure that we are not, you're home away from home, but at the same time, we have a little something for each and every one of you. So if there's a particular thing that you're interested in, we make sure that we build upon that. We want you to be very comfortable. We want you to be able to expand your horizons to bring some of those talents and make sure that we plug into those things. So our values here at the university are character, leadership, accountability, service, and scholarship. So we take pride on our fundamentals. Again, we're here to grow leadership. We're here to build your character as well as to be a service to all mankind. What does service mean? Service means giving back and helping others. So we are here to help you dive into your niche, your love, your gifts, and your talents, because that helps make better leaders. So with us here at the university, one of the stories very uniquely, we had twins here at the university, and those two twins found their path to be able to build, not just because they're like in sisterhood, but they also was able to find different niches. So with that sisterhood, they were able to grow leadership. They were able to join sororities where they built lifelong friends. And here at the university, we want to make sure that you feel at home, you are home, and that you're able to grow beyond FMU. So the sisters had their journey. They came as sisters, they left as sisters, but they left finding more sisters with joining clubs and organizations. So it's unique because we are here to help to dive into those rich heritage and traditions that we have here in the university. We're here to grow your organization. We're here to make sure that you are global leaders, that you're going to trans beyond the classrooms. So we take pride in that very closely, and we want to make sure that you belong here in a safe learning environment. The campus is beautiful. We have a lot of different things in the community that are close by that we tap into. So it makes us unique because we're not just any other organization. We are Lions, and Lions roar. So we make sure that we expand beyond the classroom. So thank you so much. Next slide. So campus experience. Now, looking at a campus, what do you look for in a college? You look for a college or university home that you feel that you can see yourself to grow. We look for a beautiful campus that's safe. We look at a campus that's welcoming, and we also look at a campus that's going to help you grow as a leader, because you're here to get a degree, but also to build lifelong friends. So when we're looking at our campus, Florida University has a beautiful campus. We have a very unique campus because we have a lagoon. It's meditating, it's serene. We have a patio that you're able to go out and explore. So when you close your eyes and think, if you're going to meditate, I'm going to and from classes, just close your eyes for me for a moment and think about the coolness, the sun beaming on your face, and just to see the small things that mean so much to you. So when you open your eyes, you envision, oh my God, I'm at this beautiful campus. I have a beautiful lagoon, and I'm able to see myself because this is where I belong. I belong here at Florida University, where I can be a lion and I can roar. I can be able to expand myself in my horizons as one, a leader, a beautiful campus, and friends, lifelong friendships that you're going to meet and grow. So that's one of the things we take pride in. The campus is so beautiful to have your own lagoon that you can sit back, meditate, read your books, study, make friends. We play games and just have a good time here in Lion Country. Now, we are the only HBC in South Florida, but we also are the birthplace of Lift for Voice and Sing, which is our national Negro anthem, and where we have the greatest musicians from here to around the world. So we have jazz components. If you're listening to jazz, we also have Ambassador Corral that actually perform at Carnegie Hall, believe it or not. So that was a great experience for us to take FMU talent all the way to Carnegie Hall. Then our marching war band is a world-renowned band that we were able to perform in Paris. So we have musicians and students that are talented, that can not just only be great students, but also perfect their talents. Located in the beautiful city of Miami Gardens, we are only minutes away from the Hard Rock Stadium. As you know, that's where our Miami Dolphins play. We also have a lot of different events, different concerts that are in town. We are not too far from South Beach. So guess what? You can do what you need to do on campus, and you also can go and play in the sand. So we're excited about that. Our location is everything. Looking for a college that's welcoming, looking for a college that you can belong and fit in, to make friends, to create your own clubs and create your own memories. We also have a state-of-the-art wellness center that we also not only teach our students to be active academically, but also physically fit. We want to make sure that you guys are staying active. We want to make sure that we all are a part of the pride, so we're able to get you there, mind, body, and soul. That's what we want to take pride in. So the academics, as well as the athletic teams. So academics first, get your books and study hard, and then we're able to play. So if you come to the game and ready to play, the championship is just upon you. So everyone wins here at the Florida University. Also, we are home to the youngest pilot to fly around the world, Barrington Irvin. He was a student here at Florida University, the best aviation program here in this side of South Florida. And we have great programs here, great job opportunities, and we have our own flight simulation here on campus. So when you're looking at a place where you belong, a beautiful campus, talented students, not too far from all of the hottest spots here in Miami, as well as a great athletic program, We have a great academic program because academics is everything. And then we are home to about 30, 32 countries that we have a melting pot here to explore. So we want to make sure that we're inclusive. We want to make sure that we are tapping in to all the different variety of countries and different individuals because you're going to make lifelong friends. And a part of that is understanding where we are and where we want to go. And we want to help you go to the next level here at Florida University. So our campus experience is everything. Just to learn a little bit more about it, we're going to go to the next slide to talk a little bit more about what makes FMU great. So when we think about clubs and organizations, if you can think back to high school and some of the things that you enjoyed doing, guess what? We still have that at Florida University. So when we look at clubs and organizations, we have about 50, but that doesn't stop there. If you see a club or organization that you would like to take part in, we have opportunities for you to appeal, to make your appeal to have a new club. So establishing clubs at Florida University are very simple. We are governed by a student government association, in which there is our student leaders. A part of having your club or organization, you're able to create your own club or organization, something that you may not have, or maybe something you want to think. We have clubs similar to Animation Club. We have clubs for we have one that's really, really unique to me. We have a graphic and a kind of graphic club where it's more of hands-on, and what students do, they create their own art. So I call it graphics, but I call it art because when we have different students that are very talented, they're able to do a lot of things with their hands. And we like to have hands-on talent because students can do so much. And when they put their mind to it, we just help to cultivate that. The experience is an art club that the students do. They do knitting, they do art. So we do a lot of painting with a twist. So again, just outside we're on our patio, overlooking the lagoon, students are actually painting. Sometimes it's very relaxing for the students. So we like for them to build upon those talents. And then we have big mirrors that we're able to display. So clubs, something that we're really big on. We also have our academic clubs. We have our social clubs. Some of the social clubs, we have modeling troops, serving interest in talent and fashion. We rip the runway all the time with our fashion shows. And it's by our very own students. So they design clothes. They actually do the set design. We also have students that are very, how do we say, entrepreneurish. So students are able to create their own clubs and they are able to build their businesses. So we have like an expo. On every Wednesday, we have a Wipe Me Down Wednesday in which you're able to table and showcase your talent. So students get to buy from their peers and it just helps to build their business. So believe it or not, some of the most important students start their businesses here right in school, and then they go on to make it be a bigger business after they graduate. So business starts here. Students start with their own small ideas. We give them a showcase and a platform for them to be able to expand their businesses through our business weekly expos. We also have Dress Success Wednesdays where we have vendors and sponsors that come on campus and they're doing interviews with students. So we have Dress Success Wednesdays. It's always every Wednesday. People have on their best, so they'll be ready for the runway. You can never put a price on how your presentation is. So we take pride in our Wednesdays, Dress for Success, and we also have Fridays, which is Lion Pride Fridays. You wear your school spirit. So we're big on school spirit and uniting the pride, building clubs, building cultures, and building memories. But we really share a lot on our students and just pulling into their talents because we like to pour into students. We do the investments here, and then later on we reap the benefits. So as we come together with our hearing, we are pride ourselves on student leadership as well as making sure that we are very, very involved in our students and their learning experience. When we look at Greek life at Florida University, we have a lot of our student organizations right now. We're doing membership intake. So as you're evolving and joining clubs and sororities and fraternities, we're trying to figure out what is the best club for you. What are you looking for a club? So ask yourself, what am I looking to get out of this experience? And that's to build leadership, build lifelong friends, and to be a service to all mankind. We pour ourselves on making sure that we give back to the community. So we do a lot of community service. We have a lot of student organizations that take it upon themselves. We just recently had a student that won the Excellent of the Year award. And because she was able to put together cultivate a student group in order to give back. Not too long ago, I believe last semester, we had a hurricane that devastated a lot of our students. As we stated, we target about 30 student organizations. And with that experience, this student thought in our robbery to think about others who was less fortunate. And she put together a Haitian relief as well as a Jamaican relief for the staff and families that were devastated in the hurricane. So that was student led. And we pour into that because is so how important it is that we were founded in 1879, and we want to make sure that we continue that legacy. So that student, she was able to get her peers together, and they did a hurricane relief where they were able to send different things back to Jamaica and those impacted countries. So it really was important for us to pull back. So I believe in students investing in their dreams and make sure that they're going to be excellent in everything that they do. Some of our academic clubs and organizations, we have National Black Association of Journalists, NABJ. We also have our criminal justice clubs and organizations. A lot of students that are majoring in the different areas, we want to make sure that we're pouring in. So we talk about that now as a prospective student in that major. And then when they go on, they're part of national associations that they can go on to continue to do. Those professional organizations and academic clubs, they actually give scholarships, they give internships and fellowships. So it's really important that not just only that you're studying to be that great politician or that great business manager or even entrepreneur, we want to pour into those majors. So therefore you will understand what you're going to be expecting, what you're going to be given the opportunity once you go and graduate. So those professional organizations, our aviation associations, Alpha Eta Rho, we have women in aviation. We're just making sure that we position the students for them to be successful. So it's really great that we have a lot of organizations that you're a part of. And again, if we don't have that organization, guess what? You can create it. Build the table that you would like to be at. Have a seat at the table and make sure that you're going to grow in excellence. Next slide, please. So as we involve our students here at Florida University, we talked about culture, we talked about our experience. Now we're going to talk about support. What makes Florida University the top college university? Glad you asked that question. It's about support. We're here to be a resource. We're here to galvanize, to pull you up. We always talk about pull back to pull up. And what that means is to help the next lion, to help the future lion, to build those cubs into those great lions that we know you can be. So we have a great support system here. We do have a counseling center. We have 2 licensed mental health counselors that's going to help you. If you're feeling home away from home, that's why you belong here at Florida University. We're a family here at the Pride. We are very instinct to understand that you're not here alone. We are all in this together. That's a part of the Pride. So we have different resources for you. If you would like to get more information as it relates to counseling, some of those things that we can do to help you evolve. We want a holistic student that's going to transform you beyond the classroom. So we're going to help you spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, and occupational, because you're going to get that job that you want to have, that dream job, by making sure you tap into resources. We also have accommodations. If students need special accommodations, extra time on tests, we have everything that you need here at Florida University to help you thrive, to be successful. When we're looking at international advisors, it's really important. Now, this is really important. What I love about Florida University, we always are tapping into what do the student need. And last year, we were able to launch under the leadership of our President McCormick, a U.S. embassy that actually helps our students. Here at Florida University, we have our own mini embassy. And what that is those students internationally can come on campus to get the questions and things that they need, because we have our very own embassy. Embassy can help students with CPT, students who would like to have jobs that are on campus, and OPT after you graduate. So the international advisors are housed under embassy here on our campus. You don't have to go far. Everything that we need is right here at Florida University. They can ask all the questions that you need to help you if you're going to be preparing your paperwork, if you're getting ready to graduate. We have several international students now that are already started their job process. So after graduation, is no need to look any further. We have everything that we need that will help you transform you, give you all the tools that you need to be successful as you're going to look for jobs. So graduation is upon us, and students are ready to roar with excellence. So we got to have the skills that we need to help the students be successful. Also with internships, scholarship opportunities. We have Scholarship Tuesdays that we implemented. So every Tuesday, students have opportunity to, how do you say, secure the bag? Absolutely. Secure the bag. Getting college and finding resources in order for you to help pay for school. So we do have resources, some resources for international students that they will qualify for based on the various majors to be successful. Career coaching. Career coaching is another area that we partner with the academic side. So student affairs and student life also collaborates with academics, because we can't do one without the other. Bridging that gap together is important. Building a bridge helps us to think along. How do we be proactive? How do we project our future? And part of the coaching is to make sure that our students have what they need. So we partner very close with the academic affairs in order for our students to be aligned. We look at the rubrics in your degree audit sheet and plan to see how we're going to be successful. So in order for you to be successful academically, you're going to be successful on the student affairs side, because they both go together, and that's how we build lifelong leaders. So the career closet, getting ready for our students to transform them. If you're going to be getting your internship, we have a very good resource here at the university where we have a career closet. When students are ready to go for job interviews or for internships, they will go to the career closet. And guess what? We help them build their resumes. We help the students to do mock interviews. And again, that goes back to our Wednesdays, Dress for Success. So with that in student affairs, we help transform our students again beyond the classrooms and to be global leaders and successful entrepreneurs in the future. So we have a setup where you can do your pop-up photos on Dress for Success Wednesdays. You come dressed and they'll get to take your headshot. The headshots are really important because we want to be able to prepare our young people so they can set up their LinkedIn and to set up their international profiles so they'll be able to be more marketable. So not just we get you clothes ready, we help you get ready for your interviews, and we also make sure that you have your best foot forward when getting these jobs. Now, when we're looking at the Car Center is really important because that's our career advising and retention center. These areas are so important because there's another resource. So many resources for you to use and tap into if you decide to choose Florida University, because this is where you belong. With the Center for Advising, whether it be international or your academic approach, we're here to help transform students and prepare them with the skills they need to be successful. But a part of that is making sure that we're accountable, we have good character, and we're going to be perfecting you to be the great leaders. So when we talk about the career readiness, we do also have the career center that we work with. So we have Thriving Thursdays, which is really cool. And the name itself alone says a lot. Thriving Thursdays help you to be successful. And every Thursday, we have different workshops that will help students transform them and get them ready for the career field. So we tap into different companies that come to campus. So therefore, you're able to interact with the companies, and they talk a little bit about their organization, and we talk about what we're looking for as expectations for student leaders. So connecting us with companies, corporations, building you with your advisors, make sure that we're coaching you and making sure that we are equipping you to be successful. That's some of the things that we have here in student support services and career readiness. So we're ready for you. Are you ready for us? Next slide, please. So at this portion, we're going to take questions. Again, please feel free to ask questions. We're here because Florida University is where you belong, and we take pride in everything that we do because the Lion Country roar, roar, and roar some more. Thank you so much. And now please ask your questions.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ford. Before we go to the Q&A portion, I'd like to learn more about something that is especially important for our international students today. So for those who may be considering FMU, moving to a new country can feel a bit, a mix of both excitement and at the same time overwhelming feelings. So are there specific programs or spaces that helps students navigate challenges like homesickness or culture shock?
Great question. Thank you for the question. Yes, we do. So on campus, you're correct. Coming to a new and unfamiliar area, you may feel not collected. But here at Florida University, we're a family. So what we do is we equip those students who need that extra support. We have mentoring programs that we link the students up with. We also have different organizations. So we have Caribbean Student Association, Bahamian Connection. We have Virgin Student Association, Visa, and also an area where you can go and just to get that support. So we do have international advisors that our students, prospective students will be connected with. They can ask all the questions. I'm feeling homesick. We make sure that we have a welcoming session with a week of welcome, that we are able to put our students in groups and focus groups, that they are able to have a support group throughout the matriculation for university. So it's not just onboarding them. We help the students each and every part of the way in order for them to feel connected where they belong and help them be successful as we onboard as well as graduate our students. So the students have a wealth of experience. They have a wealth of resources that they can tap into, and also create their clubs or organizations, because we want the pride is where you belong to feel connected, but also to know that you're safe. It's a safe environment, and we are inclusive to all because we want to make sure that they thrive in Lion Country.
Fantastic. And then lastly, um, how early in their journey are students able to access internships, career exposure, or industry connections?
Great. I'm glad you asked that question. So this semester alone, we're really excited. We were able to do a study abroad expo and also have some of our other students to get their passports. So being that you're coming in as an international student, those students will have a privilege to help share with our other students. So early on, as the first semester when you're on board, you can get an internship as early as your first year, your first semester of school, because we want to make sure that the students are already thriving. Some students get 2 internships, some students get 3. So because we had those opportunities for study abroad, also study abroad exchange programs, the students were able to tap in and get that interest. As soon as you become a Lion at Florida University, all benefits, all obligations, all resources are available to all of our students because we want to make sure that our students have as many memorable experience and opportunities to tap in, to connect, to get job opportunities. And some of them possibly can be paid experiences. So therefore, we would train the students to do their work experience here while they're here, which comes before. And then you also have opportunities to do it after you graduate. So we want to dive into that opportunities. There are some positions on campus where the students are able to work. So we're giving them work experience, real world experience, as well as connecting them with resources and people that they can pour into. So yes, as soon as they come to Lion Country, as soon as you accept it, as far as the first semester, we want to get our students engaged because that's going to help them to create a better experience for them, as well as just having them here. Once they're here, they're ours forever. A lion for life.
That was wonderfully explained. And with that, let's move on to our Q&A session where we'll be answering questions from our audience. And looking at the Q&A box right now, we see a lot of questions already. So let's dive right in. So first one that I see here, how do faculty members incorporate real-world industry exposure into coursework, especially for international students with limited US experience?
So that's a very good question. Our faculty are amazing. So we have some great faculty members. It's already incorporated into the curriculum and the syllabus. So what we try to do is on the onset of the course, the faculty are very knowledgeable of bringing our international students in fold and just our students in general. What we like to do is to make it a real life learning experience, a teachable moment, as well as a takeaway. The takeaway is how do we incorporate the international space in the course room, and they also give practicums. They give practicum assignments. They do kind of more experimental assignments. So students are they work in small groups. We also have lyceums where speakers come into the course room to actually speak. Speakers and presenters from corporations come into incorporate a part of the experience. So the learning experience is not just only lectures, but it's also lyceums and speakers that would come to speaker series. We also have workshops and events that they come to campus for students, and for international students alone. It's really important that we have a connection up front so the students feel very belonging and supported because it is different coming from a different walk of life. But again, here at Florida University, we make it where it's seamless, where everybody feels a part and connected. And the coursework is really important because you're here to learn. So I think that faculty do a really good job in trying to come up with different learning outcomes in the coursework, as well as making it a rigorous instructional part of the syllabus. So the classwork is evolving. I think that we're doing a lot more to incorporate all students, and especially have a connection for our international students that sometimes may not get all the resources on the front end. We're definitely looking at that, and that's why we're expanding our U.S. Embassy and partnering with some of the other facets to give students more resources that they can belong in. And also with our Scholarship Tuesdays, they're able to apply for United Negro College Fund and just to help them to have a great experience here in Lion Country. So we're still exploring that area.
Fantastic to know. And speaking of faculty, how accessible are professors outside of the class for mentorship? And what does student-faculty engagement typically look like in FMU?
Great. So our faculty engagement is phenomenal. We do have office hours. We also have sessions where students can come to speak to their professors. They have a academic. It's pretty much you have to meet with them twice a semester. So at the beginning and the end, we have a lot of dynamics where faculty just kind of sit with the students and walk them through what their plan looks like. And we also have touch points where they can just pop into their offices. So faculty is very open to interacting with students. They're open to answering questions and also to helping them just with life situations that happen. And sometimes we refer them to another office on campus because we want that wraparound service here at the university. So faculty, our student support services, whether it be the counseling center, we also have support groups. We have workshops. We have, again, like I talked about lyceums, we have career readiness workshops. We also have a session just for international students and where we had people to come from various disciplines within the international field, and they were able to talk to students about their interaction here at the university and what type of experience that international students experience opposed to the domestic students. So we really wanted to hone into what does the international relationship look like with faculty as well as supports. So we did a lot this semester as it relates to international speak, and we're just taking it to the next level. So we have resources. We tapped into some of our local branches and governments and just helping our young people to understand what does that piece look like? What do I need to have in international students? What are some of the documentations that I need? And what does it mean if I would like to work? How do I obtain those job opportunities and internships? Because it's really important when we have money that we leave on the table, but we're not being able to explain and allow our international students to take upon the opportunity. So we were really excited about that experience and where the international collaborations and how we're elevating that area for our international students to be able to be a part of the Pride.
Amazing to know. And we also have a question here. So, how is Florida Memorial University adapting its teaching methods to prepare students for an AI-driven and rapidly changing job market in this year in 2026?
So the AI, it has taken on and taken over, and we're happy to be a part of that journey. So this year we were able to, on the academic side, we were able to identify a professional that we have a director that helps us with our AI experience. We also have a lot of our faculty members that went through a rigorous training as it relates to teaching the AI in the next wave of technology. So we are training our faculty. We also have implemented AI policy for our students to understand, yes, while AI is taking over, we still need to understand that things must be done in decent order with the protocol. So we are really embracing it because AI is the way. It's the way that we are involving in a lot of our students, distant learning, AI, they're doing a lot in the classroom. So faculty and students are really embracing it. And I was happy to hear that we have now identified a policy that's going to help us to take that on to the next level. So AI for us is definitely something's up and coming, and we're still evolving, but our students are embracing it, and our young people are really on board with just the different facets that it will, how it will look and see. And our faculty are very receptive, and they were very excited about the training. So training is really good. So training not just for our faculty, but also for our students was something that we took pride in this semester. And now we're going to be ready to launch it for the fall. But we were happy to know that things are getting in place, and we are still learning on the learning curve, but we are definitely excited about what AI has to offer. And we're just happy that Florida University has taken upon ourselves to take it to the next level because we don't want to be behind. We want to make sure our students have the very best. So yeah, so we're looking at that very closely and really to launching that more for the semesters to come.
It's great to know that FMU is already adapting to the technology era right now. So that's really nice to know because a lot of our students actually want and are interested in the AI technology. So it's really nice to know that one. So moving on to the student side and international student side. So what steps does, FMU take to ensure international students feel included and, represented within the campus community?
So some of the things that we're doing differently as it relates to international students, it starts from onboarding. So our Office of Admissions have hired a new coordinator that just only works with our international students. So we really want to feel the love and the pride early on. So one of the things that we would do if we're interested in coming to Florida University, the students will be linked into our international coordinator that will make sure that he equips them with everything that we need. We're excited about that because having a space and understanding that you have a go-to person really makes your transition and make your journey easier. So we wanted to do on the front end. So the Office of Admissions did hire additional staff to work with international students and just provide them with everything that they need to have a smooth transition. We also are doing international workshops, so we'll be able to do things virtually. So before our new students arrive to Lion Country, we're able to answer all their questions up front. We're able to also be very open and honest with them about some of the resources that they have upon coming to school. So they will be given the opportunity to apply for scholarships. And if they're eligible, because remember, keyword is eligible, they will be able to receive those funds. And then when they arrive to campus, they'll be able to look at other job opportunities. We have tutoring for our students. We also have a way for them to grow and to create their own clubs. So first step is onboarding, making sure that we have all our ducks in a row and to equip them with everything they need to be on board international student. Then we'll be able to package them with resources they will need to be successful at Lion Country. And the third thing would make sure that we follow them throughout the process, making sure they get proper advisement, making sure that they have a safe space and going to our FMU embassy in order to get other documentation. So as we're transitioning for the semesters, they'll be able to have a checklist of what they need. And then when we get closer to internships and practicums, because remember, once the students arrive here, we want them to get busy in Lion Country. We don't want them to just sit down and think that, oh, I'm just here, I have no one. No, you have us. We are a family. We want to be connected with the students, and we want to be able to provide them with all the skills they need to be successful, because in Lion Country, failure is not an option, because we roar, roar, and roar some more. So a part of that is just making sure that our international students feel just as part of the pride and make sure they feel a sense of belonging. And again, we want to shine and to pull into their talents and be able to bring them up for them to be very successful. So we're excited about all the work that we're doing for international students, and just students alone. At the end of the day, they're no longer international students, they are Lions. So they're going to be able to be successful, but we want to be able to provide them with the skills they need to be successful. So we're doing a lot of great work in that area and making sure that, one, they have a key department and organization in order to pull those resources and what they need to be successful. So that's what I'm excited about the most, that they have someone to connect to. And we don't want to wait until you get here. We want to start talking to you now. And how do we evolve to get you here to bring you on full circle as a Lion?
Lovely to know that. And what are the common, challenges that we see that international students usually face at FMU? And how does the
Um,
university help address them?
Great. So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that question. So I'm glad we're being open and honest, because this is where we get all the information up front. So these are some really good questions. The first thing to me, I would say resources. As an international student, sometimes it's a bit scary when you don't know the unknown and uncertain. So making sure that they have all the information that they need, over the information. It's better to over communicate, because that way we know our expectations. And one will be resources. So we would like to make sure that we are able to identify some resource of funding for our international students, because they want to come here. We want them to stay. We want to build retention, but at the same time, we want to know, well, this is the cost of tuition. These are our options. I can apply for this scholarship. I can do this fellowship, or I can be maybe working with a company or corporation that can help me to give that job opportunity or internship. So I would think maybe resources, and also just being connected, a sense of belonging. I think that's one of the things that eventually, until you come here to get busy and get involved in campus life, that can be something that you feel like isolated. But we make it where it's seamless for you to come in, to be a part, to feel connected, I think, which is the most part. So I would say resources. We are a private HBCU. However, we you have not because you ask not. So asking those right questions, making sure that we are providing a resource for you up front, and therefore, again, failure is not an option for us. So resources, and just making you feel connected to pull into some of those resources. So just ask more questions, ask all the questions that you can, because that's going to be one of the things that ties you in. Because if you have the things that you need, you're going to be successful. But when we don't know what the expectations are for our international students, then therefore we kind of struggle at the beginning, but at the end we get to the finish line. But we just want to know upfront, as international students, I know maybe cost will be one thing, because we're a private institution. But with that private institution, you can't put a price on the value that you're going to get the education here from university. So I would say ask those great questions, come in, be connected, be open-minded, and be willing to embrace the culture and be willing to learn, because we all learn from each other. So we're excited about where we're going to go with our international students, and just how we can galvanize and to bring them in, because we want to make sure they feel connected. So belonging and resources, I would think, would be the first thing. And we're still exploring to bring more resources to help our international students.
Fantastic.
That's the
Thank you
best
so
about.
much for that. Thank you so much for that. Also, we do have curiosities around part-time jobs. Are international students allowed to take part-time jobs inside the school or outside while studying?
Great question. So personal experience, I have. This is one of my favorites. One of my international students, well, actually two of my international students, they actually work for the university now. So true story, team. Listen up to this really close. So my international students, CPT. So CPT is when you can work while you're in school. And it's really important because, again, we talked about resources, and I'm being fairly transparent. I've been with the university 22 years, going on 23 years, and I'm very excited about the story to now just not call my former student my student worker, but now she's my colleague and work with me. She started in my area as a RA. So she was able to work with the residential assistant. You live in a dorm and you work with the students, help do your hall meetings, and just be, and also pull as a student leader. So she started as a RA. She was able to work on campus, got her social security card, did everything proper protocol. It took some time, but once we stabilized that, then she became a staff member, and then now she got her MBA from the university's FMU. So her undergrad from Florida Memorial, and now her master's, and now she works for the Office of Admissions. So full story, students can work. Again, she was the type of student that came and then got busy with school. She was the SGA executive secretary. She was my lead RA working in housing. And now she works for Office of Admission and retained her master's while she's in school. So you can work while you're in school. And then after she graduated, she had to come to school to get a master's. So she was able to do that. And now she's working for the university. So CPT is before and OPT is after. So there are ways for student internationals can get jobs. And it's on campus because, she's an international student. She didn't have a car. Everything worked out. And she also got free housing. So just think about the opportunities, the resources, the connections. And she also became a student leader on campus. So you can evolve in more than one ways. International students have gone on to be Miss Florida University, Mr. Florida University, SGA President, which is our Student Government Association, as well as our RA in our residential dorms. So our residential halls is really important because that's your home away from home. And again, we take pride in everything we do at the university. So I would say take the opportunity to work as a student, also maybe get your master's, and then go on to be a staff member. So before working on campus CPT and OPT after you graduate, it's evolving and you're able to make resources, make money on campus, and again, build your leadership skills and make lifelong friends. So it's really great for our international students to take a part of that. So I'm happy that they're able to do it. And now I can call her my coworker. So yeah.
That's very nice advice. At least we get to answer a lot of their questions because that's one of the topmost question that they usually ask. So, another one that we have here: in what ways does FMU gather and act on feedback from international students to continuously improve their experiences?
Wow. So feedback is really important with everything that we do. And that's how we evolve to make sure that we are being a touch point and being a good resource to our students. Because without students, there will be no FMU. So I always tell my students that as one of my mottos, there will be no FMU without you. And the feedback is important. And more importantly, for international students, I like the fact that we have our Caribbean Student Association and International Student Association, because that's the governing body where they have student leaders within the student international student segment. They're able to come and talk about their concerns. We have student body meetings as well as getting information from our international students. There's an international committee that's a part of Student Government Association, which they only deal with international information and business. And a part of that, the reason why we created the U.S. Embassy is because students had questions and concerns, but they didn't feel that they had a voice or a space. And that feedback allowed us to build not only the U.S. Embassy on campus, but also to have a better voice for our international students. So they got together. They talked about some of the topics they wanted. One was, how do we get more scholarships? So now, guess what? They can apply for UNCF scholarships, and they have international money where they was awarded money. And on scholarships, guess what? You don't pay scholarships back. So that was really important and helped them financially. I mean, helped them to have a voice and a space of mind. So feedback we take very, very, very strongly, and we do something with it. Feedback without having an action doesn't exist. So that feedback is so important that we have a cultivated focus group to make sure that we are expressing our concerns, we're articulating, and we're hearing our students. Because again, they're student first, but because international students need a little bit more sometime, or feel that they're not at the forefront, they are. So that feedback is so critical. And I'm so happy that the leadership at Florida University, that we take that leadership where we're able to build out a whole office. We're able to identify our faculty or staff member that's going to deal directly with international students. That way they have a seat at the table. And again, if the table is not there, you build and make your own table. And that's what we're here to do, bridge the gap and to make sure that we have gained access for our students to persist. So feedback is important. And we're so happy to have our international students that are our leaders and that they are professional and know how to get their views and thoughts across in order for us to help this international students collectively. So the feedback is really important. And we welcome the feedback, we welcome the questions, because we're here to evolve and to expand and to grow our university to the next level. And that's by enhancing our international students and our international presence.
It's really comforting to know that FMU really values the voice of their students, and we really love to hear that. Thank you so much, Ms. Ford. We also have a question here. Do you also offer PhD programs or DPA?
So not at this time, but that's the area that we're exploring. I'm excited about that. We do have grown some more master's programs, but at this time we're still exploring. But that's something that is going to be on the horizon. The best is yet to come when it comes to that because I'm definitely excited about that. And there is some conversations. I think it's an EDD or specialist program that we're evolving on the academic side because I deal more with the student life, but I know that we are interested in having it in education and maybe coming really soon because that's already on the plan to look at our accreditation to see where we go with that. But that's going to be something that's going to take off. And we do have a lot of programs that would be online, so students will be able to take those fastest. But we also have some other popular programs that students are doing here that they're evolving in, such as our MBA and our criminology. So that's coming. There, the talks is in, so I'm excited about that. People are asking, so definitely having an HBCU experience and having your doctorate degree is going to be something great for us, and we're just evolving. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some buy-in from staff and international students that would like to be a part of that. Coming
Really
soon.
something to look forward to, and we're
Yep.
very excited for that to happen. So thank you so much for that. So before we close our session, could you kindly please walk us through, the next steps on how students can begin their journey at FMU?
Great. I'm great. I love the next steps. It's always evolving. So when we think about next steps, think about everything that we learned. We're thinking about having a beautiful campus that's open, family oriented, have a beautiful lagoon that you reflect, over 40 clubs and organizations. We also have about 30 plus countries. We're just thinking about being a lion. What does it mean to be a lion? How can I be a lion? And that brings us to the next steps. The next steps of being a part of the lion is to make sure that we are getting our ducks in a row, and for international students, talking about those documents, that information that we need to help us to the next level. We'll be tapping into the Office of Admissions, talking about some of the things that we will need to get onboarded, looking at the resources and programs that you would see yourself in, because again, we have something for everyone. FMU is where you belong. So onboarding with admissions, I will be the first thing. Also getting your financials in order, which will be your documentations for being able to do the cost comparisons for school, looking at the lodging if you would like to live on campus, because we didn't talk much about our residence hall, but we have some great residence halls here on campus. And we'd like to encourage our students to stay on campus if possible, because it gives you the real college experience. So that helps. It also helps with the retention. So I would say first thing, completing the application. We do have opportunities for students to go ahead and get the application in, and therefore you can start triaging with the different things you need, exploring our website to talk about what programs you want to join, looking at what will be the cost analysis opposed to living on campus or off. We have direct and indirect costs, but we do have some scholarship opportunities for you. So again, the key thing is eligibility. Make sure if you see something that you would like to do, also applying for those different other financials that can help you. We do have privates or alternative loans that you can see to help outfund your college education. And then when you arrive to campus, you're going to be able to get involved in some different opportunities. As my former student who now works at the university, you're able to take part of those things and secure your job on campus. So you will be able to apply for a job on campus through our human resource office with your proper paperwork and documentation. But the next step would just be really to get that application completed. And then that would be the first step of onboarding as a lion. So I would say get your applications. Next steps, do research, and also ask us more questions, because there may be some of the things that we didn't cover today. So please send your questions in, and that will help us to get a little step closer to being a future lion at Florida Marine University, the only HBC in South Florida. So I would say next steps, get ready to roar and get that application filled out as soon as possible. So yes, I think that would be the next step, getting your application completed.
Fantastic. And before I let you go, could you please share one final advice or tip for students who are considering studying in FMU?
So I would say look no further. Florida Marine University is the one for you to continue your college education here at the university. I would also say that looking at Florida Marine University is bigger than just a college. This is your family. It'll be your home away from home. I would say that you would definitely be in for a treat. Because we have so many resources, opportunities for you to dive in here at Florida University. We help to transform students beyond the classrooms. So I would say the best advice would be the person that you will want to be, and understand that elevation is upon you and success is definitely an option here for university. And just take pride in where you reside. It's really important to know that you feel included, you feel heard, and you're going to have a valuable education. And guess what? A lifelong memory of college experience and things you can take part in, from homecoming to joining sororities and fraternities to being able to be of service, still giving back to your community and being a servant leader. That's going to be one thing. And we're going to definitely help you to equip you to be a successful leader here from university, because we want to make sure our students are very well versed and respected as well as heard. So I think that being a student here from university is going to broaden your horizons and going to tap into those talents that you didn't know you had or didn't have the opportunity to explore. And we just want to be able to be a part of your journey to help you with your educational career. So I would say, yes, that's the best advice. Know who you are, be the person that you are, and help to transition to be that individual that's going to change and make a difference in our lives.
Thank you very much, Miss Ford. This was an amazing session, and we truly hope that our students for today could apply the tip that you gave us. So that concludes our webinar for today. Once again, thank you very much, Miss Ford, for sharing your knowledge. We definitely learned a lot, and we do hope everyone here could already imagine themselves to be a future part of FMU. So thank you all so much again for being with us today, and we truly appreciate your time. We look forward to welcoming you in our next webinar. Until then, take care, stay safe, and goodbye, everyone.